Praise the Lord. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I pray that you had an amazing week so far and God is always good. Well, this is Let's Be Real. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I trust that you had an amazing week and now you're relaxing and you're getting your coffee or popcorn and you're relaxing and just chilling out. And you are on Let's Be Real. And yes, it is Let's Be Real. As always, yes, this is your host, Bishop Samuel Fredericks, and I'm so humbled and proud to be on your mobile, on your iPad, on your laptop, or on your big television. Thank you for taking time of visiting us. Yes, you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. All we want to do is be a blessing. We are not competition with anybody, just to bring the real things to each and everyone. It is a great joy and an honor to be alive and well. Well, all the glory to God because He has been good. His mercies endure forever. And can you believe it? The month of July is almost done. My goodness, where did the time go? We still can't believe it. But well, we are here because of His goodness and His mercy. And I'm glad that you are still alive and well because of His goodness. Well, I got on a very amazing guest tonight. Her story is very unique. And I pray that her life and her story that she will tell you will bring tears to your heart. And we are here to remember her amazing son, which she will tell you all about him, how he's gone to be with the Lord in a tragic way. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers, my sister, let us welcome a beautiful woman of God, Jessica Plummer. Good evening, woman of God. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm blessed and highly favored. It was so great to see you meet you officially at Hearts of Talent. What an honor.
It was an honor to meet you too.
Yeah, I heard Jasmine told me about you and I said, well, one day we will meet. But thank you so much for taking time because I know you are extremely a busy woman.
I am, to be quite honest. I thought I'd be less busy during the summer holidays, but it's like everybody need a piece of Jessica, so I have to be there to help.
Jessica, give us a little background before we tell us. Where are you originally from?
St. Lucia.
Oh, wow. Where is St. Lucia? Everybody talk about St. Lucia, Dominican Republic. They talk about Barbados, Jamaica. Where on earth is this beautiful country?
St. Lucia is a beautiful little country back in the West Indies, which is part of the Caribbean island. Where is St. Lucia is situated between where I even forget, to be quite honest. I'm not that young like before, so certain things I don't remember. I know between, I'm not too sure. I think St. Vincent, Barbados is not really far from St. Lucia. St. Vincent is the closest to us, and Martinique.
Okay. So how long have you been in the UK?
I've been in the UK. I came here in 1989, so I've been here 33 years.
1989?
Yeah, I came the 6th of March, 1989.
I was 19 years old.
I was about
29 years old, my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. I came here when I was about 19, 18, 19.
Yeah, I was 29 years old. Wow, that's amazing. And you lived all your life in London?
Yes, I've been living here. First, when I moved to England, I was living in Essex, Woodford Green. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I went to live in, oh my God, what's the place name? I came to live in Finsbury Park, and then I've been there since.
Oh, wow. So you are Londoners, you love London. London is a very busy place. Oh my gosh.
It is. But it's all right. It's okay. I'm still learning. I may not, like I say to everybody, I may not speak the Queen's English, but I know I'm still part of them.
Of course, and today we have the Commonwealth Games opening in Birmingham, and England conquered many countries, so tonight they are opening and it's going to be very exciting. South Africa's athletes is also there, part of the Commonwealth, New Zealand, Australia, India, and whoever, Canada, all ever. So thank you so much.
England has taken over. It fought 14 times French, 14 times British, but the England won St. Lucia, so we're still under the Commonwealth anyway.
Oh, wow. Okay, you never have got your independence yet.
We are independent. We got independent on the 22nd of February 1979, was it?
Oh wow.
But it's still run by the British
Oh
because
wow.
our money still has the Queen's head on it.
So Jessica, before we start, I know we are here to have a memorial or a memory of your beautiful, handsome son. Tell us about your boy.
Shaquan, in fact, should I start from the beginning?
Yes.
I came here in 1989. I had my first child when I was about 24, going to be 25. To be quite honest, she's coming by the door, and you know what? She's just going to ask me, Mommy, for the key. Let me just quickly open the door.
Okay, you go ahead. Yeah. Yeah,
So
just bear with us. Just bear with us, everybody. With us. She just opening the door for her daughter's coming home now. She's well. It's all sorted.
They went to the shop. So my first child was born in 1984, which is Chantel. She's now 27. She'll be 28 on the 6th of October. And then I had my second child, which is Shaquan. He was born on the 13th of March, 1997. And my last born, which is Andre. Andre was born on the 3rd of June, 1999. And then I fostered a little girl. She was a year and 9 months, and she's on her own 9. She's now living with her mom.
Oh, wow.
And like I keep saying to everybody, I try my best. I raise them as best as I can. It wasn't an easy thing for me because I tried to raise them like how I was brought up in the West Indies.
Come on now.
Yeah, because back in the West Indies, it's not the same like here. You have everything, you get everything. It wasn't that way for us. My family, we were poor. My dad was the only one working. And then after a while, my mom started working. She used to clean the aeroplane.
Wow.
And when the flights come in from, because she used to work at the Hiranura International Airport, which is a big airport in the biggest airport, because you have the small one in Castries. And my mom just used to clean the aircraft. And then my dad used to work where they're making the banana boxes.
Okay.
Which is the I forgot the name of the place anyway, but I was living with them, going to school and stuff. It was difficult. It wasn't something that was easy.
Okay.
It raised us to respect others. I remember when we're going into school, it used to be my family from America would send stuff for us, and we never had it. Not all the time we were able to buy school bags like they do over here. So we used the carrier bags, just one exercise book, a pencil, pen, eraser. That's what they were able to. Because remember, we have to buy the textbook. So sometimes we may be lucky to get 2 or maybe 3, because one textbook was expensive, and my mom had 7 of us.
Wow.
But then she raised us as best as she could. But it wasn't easy, like I say. And we didn't have we wasn't that fortunate to have the lunch bag. We had to walk from our house to go down to school. You understand? And then we have to walk up. And we live like in the country, and to go to school we have to walk down to the town to school, because there wasn't a school where we were. But she tried her best, and I raised my children the same way. I remember my grandmother was still alive. We used to pick guavas from the tree, and then she would then take me. We would sell the guava. Dry coconut, I would take it to a lady. She would make the coconut stuff with the stuff and put the coconut between it. She would sell it, but I would get it free.
Wow. But
it was nice. I cannot complain. She always sent us to school. We were always neat. And I did the same with my children. It wasn't like a bed of roses, but I tried my best. And I raised my children, not for myself only. I raised my children for the whole world. But they had respect and manners. And then I remember when I started, I was sick, because as a little girl, I grew up, my mom told me I used to suffer with pressure. High blood pressure. And she said that from the time I was born, I had that. And I grew up with it. it would have gone. It would have gone, like it would stop. But
Mm-hmm.
when I came to this country, I ended up with a swollen brain, and they said it
Wow.
was building on my brain, which could cause blindness. So I was
Wow.
under the National Hospital for Neurology, and I had my 3 children, and all they used to do was take fluid from my spine in order to bring the pressure down. And I had the kids, and the last time I wasn't that lucky. It swelled up my brain, so there was no water around it. I spent an extra 2 weeks in hospital, but that never stopped me. I then became a parent governor in the school. I was helping my children. My life was just around my children. And every end of term, I used to prepare them, like I used to do stuff for them, but they wouldn't know. I would take it and hide it. And then when they go to bed, I would put it in front of the telly, so the morning they wake up and they get that big surprise. But I taught my children they had to learn how to share between the 4 of them. So it was never a problem.
Praise
like
God.
I tried my best, but Shaquan was slightly different from Chantel, different from Andre. Andre was more reserved. Andre wasn't into everybody. Chantel was kind of quiet, but Chantel was more into her friends. Chantel used to like her friends like me. But Shaquan used to be kind of trouble sometimes. But the thing is, I noticed in schools here, they don't really take the time out to listen to children like how they would do back in the West Indies. Remember, in the West Indies, you have a classroom with 30 odd children and one teacher to all these kids.
That's right.
Over here, you have maybe 3 or how many in one classroom.
Yeah.
They have the TA, they have that. But over here, Shaquan was somebody, he was somebody who was very inquisitive, loved to play in things. Shaquan's name was on every item in my house. The television, my mobile phone, the computer. Shaquan was the boss for everything. He used to like playing rugby. And sometimes on a Sunday, if I cook, when I do we wake up in the morning, because I make preparation for them on the Friday for dinner for the Sunday. So you go out, you buy your food, season it up and prepare it for Sunday. So the Saturday, everything is done. The uniform is done. All I need to do on the Friday is to iron them. So the Saturday, I get to clean up and do everything. So I'm finished. And they were nice children. If I can remember, they were still nice kids. They wasn't disrespectful children. People used to always talk about my kids. Used to say, "Oh, this girl, she dressed her children so nice." Only one day when my brain got swollen, Chantel, they couldn't comb Chantel. The grandmother couldn't comb her. And the teacher said, "Jessica is not around." And then somebody asked her, "Why did you say that?" Because that's not how Jessica sent her kids to school. And then somebody said she's in hospital because her brain got swollen. And I thought I would die, but God wasn't ready. God wasn't ready.
Goodness.
But nobody would know. Nobody would know if I have any illness. Nobody would know. This is my medication to show. If I can show you properly, this is what I live on.
Every day.
Every day. Every single day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, morning, midday, tea time, bedtime. And then I use another injection where I do every 2 weeks, and also my blue and brown pump for asthma. And nobody would know because I'm not there to show everybody, you know what, I'm sick or I'm struggling. I just live the life, you understand? Because I know God is with me.
Amen.
But Shaquan was troublesome. He used to find himself in problem in school, but it was because people would tease him and he don't like it. So I used to sometimes leave my house, go into school to help him. Then Andre, on the other, Chantel was perfect. Chantel didn't have no problem. Andre would say, "Oh, my brain say it's tired and need to rest." So Andre wouldn't do the work. So I have to then leave my house, go to the school. I take a taxi, go to the school, sit in the classroom the whole day with Andre and then he would listen. Andre would come home and say, "Mommy, this child smell a funny way." And Lord God, I still have to go and address it. I will never forget on the day of the 30th of January when everything came down on me that day. It was hard. I will never forget
Wow.
the day forever in my head. When I
Take your
got
time.
that knock on the door, the person kept on knocking. I was talking to a friend on the phone. I said to her, Simon, I've got to go because the person kept on knocking. I said goodbye to her. That time I was there ironing, preparing their uniform, also preparing Shaquan's uniform because Chantel had already Chantel graduated from university. No, she was in her second year in university when Shaquan got stabbed, and Shaquan himself was doing his A-levels. And he was doing his A-level, he was working 2 jobs. He was working with Waitrose on the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the Saturday he used to work with Tottenham Hotspur.
Okay.
He used to do serving. The people loved him. But my main problem with Shaquan would have been girlfriend, because as you can see, he was a good-looking boy. He had many girls, but that day, when the door knocked and it knocked,
Sure.
I shouted from the kitchen and I called him Nung. I said, Nung, use your key, open the door. Just knock, and they carry on knocking. I then left the kitchen, gone into the window in the front room. I look in the window. I saw flashing blue light. I said, Lord God, I hope Nung wasn't in any problem. I walked down the stairs, the person still knocking and then knocking. When I got to the front door, 2 police, when I opened the door, 2 police addressed them, so they introduced themselves. They said, not introduced, but they said who they were. They showed me their badge, and they said, if I was Shaquan Sammy Plummer's mom. I said, yes. They said, then the lady came forward. She came inside. I didn't even get to tell them to come in or nothing. The lady then said to me, I need you to get your bag, your bus pass, some money. And then she asked me, who was in the house with me? I said, my son, Andre, because Chantel was in university then. When she said that to me, she said, your son, Shaquan, was involved in an accident, and we need you to come to the hospital with me. When the lady said that, I felt so weak. I said, is Nung okay? Is my son okay? I fell on the stairs. She helped me, lift me up. We walked up the stairs. Then I went all the way to the top, because we have a ground floor, a first floor, and then a top one. When I got to the top bit, I wet myself because I was so weak.
Wow.
She helped me. I changed. I had my nightie on. I didn't even change the night shirt. I just put on her trousers. I left with the lady. When we came down the stairs, she said to Andre, come to the hospital with us. Andre said, no, he don't do hospitals.
Wow.
Then I turned around and I said to Andre, tell your dad to come and meet us at the hospital. The policewoman said to Andre, tell your dad is the hospital at the Whitechapel. We then left. She begged Andre to come. She begged Andre. Andre said, no, he don't do hospital. We left on the car. When I went inside of the car, I had my fingers crossed like that, and I started praying.
Wow.
I have never prayed so much in my whole life. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I said, Lord God, please make my son be okay. The police officer kept on asking me if I was okay. But I wasn't. It was the longest ride ever because you want to get there to know what happened. When I get to the hospital, we walked into the accident and emergency. To my left was a double door. And in that double door, they were covered with police officers, loads of police officers. I kept on asking them if my son was okay. I'm telling you this, I'm so weak.
Okay, take your time, woman of God.
She said, no. I waited. Not too long after Shakwan dad came in. When Shakwan dad came in, he asked me, he said, Plumber, are you okay? No, is no okay? I said, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody. Within second of the dad coming in, the hospital was filled with people. There was my neighbors, there was my priest, there was everybody in there. And I think the most probably they were waiting for everybody to come in. And then not too long again, this man in an orange suit, tall man, walked up and he asked for me again. He said, can I see, are you Jessica Plummer? I said, yes. Then he came, he asked me to sit down. I didn't even want to sit down. I can't remember whether I sat down or what I did. Then he asked me if I wanted the good or the bad news. I said I wanted the bad news. And that's when he told me my son got stabbed and he died. God knows. I didn't believe him. I said he was lying. I said it was a lie.
Gosh.
It wasn't true.
Take your time, woman of God.
He asked me if I wanted to go and see my son. I was so scared. I said no. And I regretted it today because I never got to see my son. I didn't get to feel him. I didn't hear his last word. I know nothing. And I don't know today, up to a day like today, I don't know what the good news was. Maybe he just used that as a way to
tell you something, yeah.
We stayed in there. They asked me if I wanted to go in the chapel. In the chapel, I said no. Everybody coming in, I thought they were lying because I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I kept on asking them if they saw my son. Did you see my son? Is my son okay? Is it a lie? Am I living a dream? Just couldn't believe it. Everybody was crying. I was feeling, I don't know. I was one way. By the time I asked at the hospital.
I can't imagine what you went through. Take your time. If you want to go off the program, we'll understand.
Yeah, but then I said to them, if I could have gone and seen my son by then, they said no, because they had to do all their whatever thing they were doing, because they have to prepare themselves for the case then. Anyway, we stayed there. When they said no, I couldn't see the body again because they need evidence and stuff like that. I left and we went home. When we got home, I didn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I just don't know. I was in a different world. By then I have to try and break the news to my daughter. That nobody called her or tell her before. So when I spoke to the dad said to me, we need to find a way to tell Chantel. So on the Saturday morning now, Chantel called and said, Mommy, why do you want me to come down? I was crying, but I had to kind of take a deep breath and say to Chantel, oh, we have a surprise party for you. And we just wanted you to come home. And by then they noticed I was about to cry, so they took the phone from me. And Chantel, they paid for Chantel. Chantel came down. When she came down, the most she done was to sit on my lap, and she said, Mommy, what happened? When I told her, she said, Mommy, it's not true, it's a lie. Andre wasn't crying, Andre wasn't talking. I think he was still in shock. When everybody came around, I can remember somebody came and said, Jessica, Jeremy Corbyn said he wants to come to you, but it was late, so he'll come this Saturday. So he came first thing Saturday morning and asked me what I needed. I said I didn't want anything. All I wanted was my son.
Wow.
Then you had everybody coming over, telling you had different stories, and you don't know, because you're still living in that dream. I thought everybody was lying. It wasn't the truth.
Wow.
And it has changed my life.
God.
Because Chantel, like I say, was in her second year in uni. But it's one thing I can say, life will never, ever in a million years be the same again.
How
Because
old was your son?
17, Shakwan
Phew.
wasn't involved in gangs. Shakwan wasn't dealing drugs. He was a good boy. That day I learned that Shakwan had a date with one girl to take one girl out because it was the mom's birthday, and he had to take another girl out
Mm.
because he wanted to take her out to the movies, and I met all of them. Anyway, we carried on. They were doing their um investigation. I was investigating too because I wanted to know what happened to my son.
Mm.
On the Monday when we were going to identify the body, the doctor who operated on my son and who told me how he held my son's heart in his hand, this man just appeared from nowhere,
Phew.
called my phone and said if it was okay for him to come to my house.
Wow.
I said yes, and why not? And the doctor came to my house, Dr. Thomas. No, it's Major Surgeon Dr. Thomas Koenig. He came to
Wow.
see me on the Monday, and it was such an honor and a pleasure to meet
Wow.
him and the love he showed the family. He invited us to the helipad to see the helicopter. He explained everything. So I met him. I met the other man that was with him, but unfortunately, the other one wasn't there because he was sick. And they explained everything. They told me what happened and where he met Shakwan and stuff like that. And by then, he left my house. He told me how the first island he visited was St. Lucia, how he had three boys. He's such a nice
Wow.
man. And I will never forget this man. As far as I'm
Wow.
concerned, he's an angel. And he told me
Wow.
how he did not want to leave Shakwan on the road because there's something about Shakwan where he was feeling something, like there was something in Shakwan that was different from a lot of people he's
Wow.
dealt with. He said your son was someone's very, very special. And anyway, he
Phew.
left me, but he stayed in touch, came to the funeral. He was with me
Wow.
all along. Yeah, he attended Shakwan's funeral. And then I said, if I'm going to do something, I want it to be something I can do to help the London Air Ambulance. So when I set up the thing, but I will come to that afterwards.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. You go ahead. You go ahead. You because
yeah,
I can't put myself into your shoes. Any
you know,
parent.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
That's what I said. It's I'm getting goosebumps because there is no words to describe what you went through. And
And I'm still
seeing
going
even your tears right now, it hurts me as a father and a grandfather. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it.
but a date was set for us to go to the Old Bailey. They took me down. I went
Yeah.
to see the Old Bailey. I went to see I first saw the person who killed my son. But then before they set the date to go to the Old Bailey, the September, I buried my son the March. And then my dad, because Shakwan was named after my dad name was Joseph. But my
Okay.
dad was already sick with cancer. And then I had to then leave the country after I buried my dad. This is how God works. He allowed me to bury my son. Then my dad passed the September. I had the call from America because I'm the first daughter with my mom. And my dad have the four girls with my mom. So I left the country the September. My dad died the 15th of September 2015. So I left the country. I went to the States, buried my dad, and then I came back to the country.
Sure. So you lost two important people on top of each other.
Yes.
Different cases, scenarios. How did you
Right.
deal with that?
I don't know. God is I can only say it's God. He's the only one. But I left the country, which I think I had to, because
Yeah.
otherwise I suffer a breakdown. And then I left the country, came back to England, and that's when the person that killed my son was then charged with his murder. Went to the Old Bailey. The case only lasted for like a week and a day, a week and 2 days.
Wow.
And then he was found guilty of murder and was sentenced to 24 years life without parole. He has to spend
Without parole.
yes. So he has to
Wow.
spend the full 24 years in prison. And even if he comes out, he'll be on a license for the rest of his life. But the
How old
only
is the person that stabbed your son?
he was 19 and a half. So he was born in 1995, May, and
Mhm.
Chantel was born in 1994. So Chantel is just about a couple months older than him.
Wow.
But something good came out of it, although Andre wasn't able to do his GCSE because he was around 15, 16.
It
And
affected him.
yeah, it affected him really, really bad up to a day like today. But Chantel graduated with honors in science and she did brilliantly. She did
Praise the
really,
Lord.
and I'm super proud of her because she's still carrying on and she's still doing so much. Chantel done so well, and
Wow.
she had a baby in 2019. She was born on the 25th of December 2019, and this girl is an amazing mom. She's following her mom's footstep. But imagine I'm walking the street now and people will still stop me and tell me how they wish that my children was theirs, because you bring up your children so well. Can you give me a few points or a few
Wow.
hints as to what to do or how to raise my children? Because they still remember I became a parent governor and it was all about the mothers, it was all about the kids, because I
Mm.
love children. But
Yeah.
I went on to set up that foundation in memory of my son, and I now do work in Harrow, in schools, in the crews. I've only just started Islington. I'm doing Islington. I had just had a meeting on Tuesday with the Stop and Search, and I was expressing and I was talking to them about the relationship we want between them and the young people, because our first point of contact if something happened to us is them we call. But
Mm.
we want them to respect us just like they want us to respect them too. And we want them to show us that, you know what, we are human beings like them. We will
Amen.
all we will all make mistakes in life.
Mm.
We see things on social media and a lot of us copy it and a lot of us hate people. But like
Mm.
I said, none of us is perfect. No one is perfect. The
Absolutely.
only person that perfect is that man we cannot see. But that man is putting us to a test because he wants to know and wants to see what we can do, because he wants us to be good people. And some
Amen.
of us are not all of us are the same. But I'm not
Mm.
going to say I'm perfect because I make
Nobody
mistakes.
is. Nobody is.
Exactly. But I do not wish for any more parents to go through my pain, because it's 7 years now and I'm still reliving it every day, and it's not easy. And I'm praying every day. I walk on the street, I talk to the young people. I was talking to one yesterday and I said to him, he said to me, Auntie, there's 11 people in my family and I could not study. I came to the park and the police stopped me. I said, if I was there at the beginning, or because I saw them when they came out of my estate, I
Mm.
said, if I would have spoken to them and tell them, no, you have to understand, these children, you cannot come and just jump up to be telling them off. You have to give these children a little space sometime. You understand?
Mm.
Make mistakes, but they just want somebody to guide them, because a lot of them are suffering with stress. A lot of them are suffering with mental health. Some
Mm.
of them are coming from a poor family. We don't know. So who are we to judge them?
Mm.
If you're
Mm.
having a conversation with them, sit and listen to them. Don't be talking at them. Listen to these children,
They
because
want somebody to listen.
yeah,
That's
somebody
all they
to
want is attention
yeah,
to understand what they're going
exactly.
through.
We some of the people, they cuss mothers. They say, oh, this mother, we don't know what this mother is going through. We're not
Absolutely.
in that mother's place, we're not in her home. Who are we to judge others?
Mm.
It's wrong. We see a mother struggling on the road. All we need to do is to find a way to come and speak to them and ask them nicely, not judging them. Some of them feel like, okay, you know what? I want to go out and say something, but I'm scared because another person will judge me. Don't think, say, because I am there, I'm living a good life, or because
Mm.
Shakwan died, the government is giving me so much. No, I waited 3 years for me to get some kind of counseling. I didn't get
What?
nothing. It was always people on the outside helping. I tell
So,
them already, yeah, I didn't get no. help victim support. It was at the last minute. One other mother like myself who contacted them, and then I started getting it. But what I noticed with us who lost our children, a lot of us do stuff, but we do it just for ourselves or in memory of our son, and we
Mm,
forget about the others. We need to do it together. Like
absolutely.
the team where I joined with the VRU, like they say, together we will all achieve more. But I cannot
Absolutely.
do it on my own, not because I've got a foundation or because I lost a son that I know everything. I don't.
Mm.
I'm still learning as I go along. But what I'm saying to them is, your child is my child too.
Come on, come on. That's an African man. We think like that in Africa. It takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, thank you. So your child is my child. I'm going out there. I go to the Old Bailey. That doesn't make me one professional. That doesn't
Mm,
make me feel like I'm somebody special, because I'm not. I'm a
mm.
human being too, like you, and I'm only there to help.
So what you are doing, you even drove with the police to help you and to understand their jobs. How did you manage that?
I
Through your
don't know.
pain. Through
I
your
don't know.
pain. You had a
But
family to support, your mother. How did you do that?
I don't know. I just did it because God said. But the police, listen, the police in Harrow, I take my hat off to them,
Wow.
because when I was having the breakdown, I didn't know what was going through my head, because sometimes you have a day where you feel so low
Mm,
and you
mm,
feel like, what, at one point I came like, at one point I started thinking that, okay, you know what? If I go in a train station, I'm better off just jumping. When the train come in, just jump in front of the train and end my life.
what?
And one day, because I was at that point and I felt so down, I felt so suicidal. It was one police officer, Claire Ginger, and PC Adrian Peacock. I will never
Come
in
on
a
now.
million years forget them. They took me to the hospital, sat down with me, waited for how many hours until I got proper treatment, and
What?
then drove me back to my house
Come on.
and make sure that I got inside. And then they were on the phone 24/7 asking me if I was okay. And up to a day like today, they're still in touch. Do you need anything, Jess? Do you need this? I set up the foundation. You need to do this and you need to do that. Christmas in 2019 was the best Christmas we had, because this police officer put together some boxes, and it wasn't only for me, it was for Andre, Chantel, and Shamaya.
What?
During COVID, these police officers were at my house when everybody's saying there's no sugar, there's no flour. These police officers was back at my door, and they live in Harrow. I live in Islington. They work in Harrow. I live in Islington, and still during COVID, bought all the bits for me that I needed. So
Come
how
on.
can I say it's not all police officers that bad?
That's right.
And I'm saying to children, and I'm saying to people, we see things on social media, we cannot judge them. Because
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
have a problem, they come forward and they will tell you, oh, you know what, I will help you. Some of them may come may approach you in a horrible way, but not all of them are bad.
Come on now.
And
You're
some
right.
people don't like me saying it, but it is the truth, because I'm not there to sugarcoat anything. I will
Mm,
say it
mm, mm,
like,
mm.
I live in Islington. I was expecting people from Islington to help me, not people from Harrow, because I don't live in Harrow. And these
Yeah.
people show me love. Yesterday I was feeling so down, and do I know why? I'm going through menopause. I've lost my son, and I'm going through so much. But you know what? I believe in God, because He
Amen.
never gives us too
That's the
much that
only
we
thing.
cannot bear. Yes, He never give you too much that you cannot carry or you cannot bear.
So, Jessica, through all this, you are still such a busy woman trying to reach out to mothers, fathers. Where do you get all the energy?
I don't know. God, sometimes when I'm down, God just uplift me and say, you know what, my girl, you have to do the work.
And
You
you were
have to.
carrying this weight of your son and the foundation, and
My
you know,
granddaughter to help my daughter. I cook on the Sunday, like last week. Was it? Yeah, last weekend. I did mac and cheese for my son's friend. They were having a barbecue. And then this lady, Auntie Choma, I help her too. She had something for her son that got drowned in America. I did the rice and
wow.
beef. I did the curry mutton. My daughter went and dropped it for her. Listen, it's not one hand that clap, is two.
So
United
another
we
lady lost her son in America, and you went to support that woman.
Yes, the son was, I think, about 6, and he got drowned, and she was raising money for the school, and then she wanted the thing done, and I did it for her. You have
You
to.
are an amazing person.
And I'm not doing it for fame. I do
Come
it
on.
because I love my people. I don't care whether you black, you white, you navy, you whatever. I don't business. I just
I
have to
know.
show the love. God said to do it because he did not pick any color. He gave everybody the opportunity to choose what he or she wanted to do. It's
You
not
know,
about.
there was a time you told me you even rode with the police to see what they're doing. How
Yes,
did you?
I went, of course, because they arranged it with the VRU, and then I wanted to know. I wanted to know what sort of work they do. So I went and I did the how you call it? I did
The
the
parole.
ride along with the police because I wanted to know what they do. I want to get more involved in them and to know exactly what they're doing. Because certain things they do on the street I don't like. And if I'm walking past them and I see they stop a group of children, I want to know what you're saying to them. You understand? And I will intervene because I want to know. So I did the ride along with them, and I'm seeing what they're doing. And they save a young boy's life on the street. So at the same time, we're saying they do wrong things. They're putting their life in danger for us.
That's right.
Because in a speeding car, you don't know whether you're going to live or you're going to die.
Yes, yes, yes.
Understand? The car is speeding; it could hit any car, and something can happen to them too because somebody called them and it's an emergency. They have to run, and they can never leave the place until the ambulance come.
Wow. How was that experience, knowing that you have gone through a traumatic situation of losing your son, and now you are giving back to the community? Tell me, how do you do this?
I don't know. Listen, I left Islington. I did 150 new recruit police officers, talking to them about the relationship we want with them as a community.
Say
How
it
we
again.
want. I did 150 police officer new recruits. I did in central London, and I went to Manchester and did another one. And they were saying to me, don't change the way you talk, just stay the way you are. Because I suffer from dyslexia, and I've got it back because I only just found out I'm dyslexic in the fifth as I'm in my 50s. And I went and I done it. And everybody was shocked. How do you do it, Jessica? I said, I don't know. I just
Oh
come
my
and I do
God.
what I've got to do, and then I just go home. That's it. This is life. I cannot sit down there and feel sorry for myself.
Come
Why
on,
should
come
I?
on.
No,
Come on.
I need to help the others because remember, God had one bread, one fish. He shared among all of us. So why can't I give everybody a piece of that love? There's love for my children, and I don't treat anybody different from how I treat my children. I treat them the same way.
So, how's your son doing now? Your
He's
youngest
much
son.
better. He's doing much better. There was one point where he was going through a lot, and recently he said to me, because I said to him, I suffer with panic attack, and sometimes something will say to me, Jessica, don't go out. If you go out, something will happen. So I reach by the door, I say, no, I need to go. And when I get sometime to the bus stop, when I reach it, the thing will say to me, don't go on the bus. So sometimes I follow my man, I will come down and sit in the park until everything go.
Okay.
You understand? And Andre said he feel the same way. So when the dad said to me his organs was starting to fail, I knew it was to do with the PTSD where he was going through.
Wow.
And then he started working. He was doing an apprenticeship. But I think in doing the apprenticeship, Andre need a mentor with him all the time. But Andre is now working. Up to this morning, there was 1 week I remember I was walking and I didn't have anything, no money. My money finished because a lot of people think that because you're on benefit, you have so much. But that's not true. And I'm saying, oh my God, I don't have the money. And I met him on the road with his friends. And when the friends meet me, his friends meet me, they say, hello, mommy. And then they will say to me, oh, you all right? You're looking well. I said, yes, I'm fine. A big smile on my face. And then he said, mommy, are you okay? I said, yes, I'm going to pick up my medication because they do the blister pack for me. And he said, mommy, are you okay? Have you got money? And I said, to be quite honest, son, I don't. And within a second, he said, check your account. And he put £150 for me.
Your son?
Yes. And today he called me, mommy, have you got money? Because you say you're going out on Saturday with the love and loss. I said, I have, but not much. So he put £50 in my account and said, Mommy,
How
that
old
would
is he?
He's 23.
He's a good son.
My daughter is the same. Mommy, have you got? If you don't have, Chantel will do the same. She says, say, Mommy, look, £200, go do your shopping. I don't have a problem with neither Chantel nor Andre. Shaquan was the same. She
You
said,
know,
remember, the night children, what they say to me is, Mommy, you gave us life and we owe it to you.
wow.
You don't owe us, we owe you.
You know what, Sister Jessica, there's a lot of children that don't take care of their parents. There's a lot of children that forget about their parents. You are blessed. You are blessed. In spite of the miss of your son, the pain, the suffering, I cannot explain it in my vocabulary. But what I see here is a woman that has tenacity and courage to step out the boat and make changes and impact people's lives. This is what this program is about. Let's be real. You brought something that people have not experienced yet. And now you're working in the community, you work with the police to save some other person's son and daughter from going that way. You are amazing.
And you know, I was so scared because I hosted something on Thursday, speaking to the community about county line grooming. And imagine, I've never done that before. It was my first time. And I did it. And when I finished doing it, they said, Jessica, you are just natural. The way you talk, because I cannot do it off a paper.
Yeah.
I just follow what my mind and my heart say, and I just do it that way. That's how I did the TED Talk. And it was another police officer who got me to do that TED Talk. And I went, I taught the TED Talk in front of 100 people. It's on YouTube. My TED Talk is on YouTube. You Google the TED Talk Jessica Plummer and it's on there. And I was able to share with so many people again. And everybody's saying, how do you do it, Jessica? Every time you do this story, you have to relive it. And I said, but it is a way of educating young people and telling them that there's more to life than them picking up that knife. And if I can change one person's life,
come on now,
it's a lot.
Jessica, you need to write a book about your son's story.
I'm looking to do that, but I need the right people to help me do it.
Correct. I'm going to introduce you to a young man I had last week. He wrote his third book, Purpose of Existence. If you will allow me, I will speak to him and ask him that he will assist you writing this book about how your son's death changed you. And now you're impacting, you're an inspiration to all. People are saying you're an amazing, you're a blessing. And here is my journey from heartbreak to community champion, Jessica Plummer.
That's it.
It's on YouTube at the moment. You see what's happening. You see what's happening, Jessica. Your story need to be told.
Thank you.
Young men and young women need to hear that carrying a knife is not the answer.
No, it isn't.
And look, the boy who stabbed your son, his mother lost a son too.
Yep.
So two mothers lost two sons because of one decision.
But you wanted to see her in court. She showed no remorse.
What?
No remorse whatsoever. And we had the court day, which was the 1st of April 2016. Chantel graduated the September 2016. We had the appeal. They put in an appeal straight after, which was the December 2016. We went back into the Court of Appeal. And this is why everybody is saying to me, I need to forgive. But I want to forgive, but I have to forgive in my own time. Nobody tell me when to do it. Because I wanted to forgive him because I say he know. How does the thing go? You know what? How do you say it? There's a scripture, in the Bible. And I go by that scripture. But when I saw him in court and the way when the judge was saying how Shaquan had a bag in his hand and you kill him over a drink and a bag of sweets. Yes.
For a bag of chips and a drink.
A bag of a bag of sweets. He had candies in there and a drink. He was laughing because Shaquan was invited to a party. That's what I was told, because I don't know what happened. He
Yeah.
met the friends, and by meeting the friends, I think the boy's sister was having a party for a friend that just left prison. They were celebrating because the girl came out of prison. And I think the sister invited the boyfriend, because the boy who took Shakwan to the party was Shakwan's friend. They went to school together, but he was dating the boy's sister.
Okay.
I don't know how true it is. And I think they went to McDonald's and they were drinking in court. I saw them going out, and Shakwan had they went into Burgeons and they were dance, they was play fighting and stuff. And I think because they were waiting for the girl to call them to tell them that it was okay for them to come. But when they called the girl said the brother, she has to ask the brother first. And by she asking the brother, I think they did not hear from the girl or something. And then they called the girl, and the girl said to come over. When they get there, they will talk to the brother by the door. So I think that's where everything happened, by the door. And when they got to the door, I think the boy asked Shaquan for the bag with the sweets and the can of drink. And I think most probably Shaquan said no. And that's when the boy went upstairs, took the knife, came back downstairs, somebody held him back, and then Shaquan said to him, forget about it. Shaquan went about his business. He followed Shaquan, stabbed Shaquan, and that was it. And he ran away for a couple of days. But by then, after he killed my son, he went on the run. While he was on the run, he stabbed another person, put the person in a coma. But I find that odd for myself, so I had to then tell the police. And then they went and asked, and it was true. And then the detective asked me, how did I know? I said, no, you were too nosy. I didn't tell you.
Wow.
I was investigating. Imagine Shaquan that had to sit through the whole court until like the Friday, they allowed me to go in the Thursday, but because I was crying, they had me to leave the courtroom. So the Friday, I was praying and praying again. But the judge was one excellent and one brilliant judge. He was so good. Yeah, I had to hold back the tears. And that's when that judge said, he know, and nobody had to tell him. Because he said, like he said, this is his words were, I know Shaquan was coming from a good home, because his sister studying biochemistry. Shaquan going into school, doing his A-level, wants to be a research whatever he wanted to do. And he said, no, I know this lady was a good mother. The way he spoke, and oh my God. And when I went to the Old Bailey, because I go into the Old Bailey and I share Shaquan's story again.
Wow.
And I was telling them I wanted to see the judge, but the judge, he retired.
Oh, wow.
Because I went back into the Old Bailey to say thank you to a few people.
Okay.
And the barrister for Shaquan, I never got to meet him because he's so busy. And he's one man, very professional in what he does.
Wow.
And I just want to say, if maybe they watch the YouTube, just want to say a big thank you to them. And I will continue praising them. Because without them, I would not have had justice. Without the police officers, I would not have had any justice for my son. So I'm grateful for them. Really
Thank
grateful.
God.
And my next thing, if you want to come again and see, I'll be at the Old Bailey again on the 15th of September, sharing my story again.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I was there on the 11th of this month. I was there a couple weeks before. I just go in and I help the young people and it's Harrow again, not arranging the Harrow police. I still go in there and I still share the story. Listen, I've done thousands and thousands of schools. I've done thousands of churches. You name it, the community, and I'm still going. I'm still going. Nothing is going to stop me. The only one thing that will stop me now is the Almighty Father.
Wow, Jessica, you are a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your amazing story to everyone from far and near, People are watching it from all over. And I know your son can't come back, but you are changing lives. I know your pain is our pain. Take your time to come over this. We are praying for you that you go from strength to strength. God is the architect. Jessica, on behalf of everyone, your testimony, your courage, your tenacity, your faithfulness to touch somebody and save somebody goes beyond words.
Thank you so much.
May the Lord bless you and keep you and continue to guide you in all of your ways till we meet again. Looking forward to meet you in London very soon.
Of course, and why not?
Bless you, woman of God. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for
pass my
having
love.
me. And thank you to everybody for listening and for all the beautiful word of support and encouragement. With God, everything will be okay. And He will
Amen.
continue showing us the way, and we'll be able to change the lives of many others. So we will save them from this terrible and horrible knife crime business.
I know. I'm very proud for Jasmine for doing Hearts of Talent, trying to save our young people from the street. And even there, listening to young police, even the police that was there, Jason is doing an amazing work. But your role means a lot to one person.
Thank you.
Take care till another time. God bless you till we meet again, eh?
All right, that's it now.
Yeah, thank you, my dear. Wow. We give God all the glory. Man, I can't describe in words how to end this program. I don't know how we would react if we lose a son or daughter in what Jessica went through. How would you and I react? And what will the future be? Revenge? Forgiveness? Think of the pain of Jessica that she had to go through with the children. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to pray for one another. What the world needs is our prayer. And we want to applaud Jessica for the amazing person she is. And now, as you have heard, she traveled from one place to another, speaking on behalf of her son. Listen, speaking on behalf of her son and touching lives. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let us continue to pray for Jessica. This was an amazing, my goosebumps. I could not believe what's coming up. I felt like crying with this woman because I have a son, I have a daughter, I've got grandkids. I can't imagine losing any one of them through a tragic jealousy or hatred. But this is the world we live in. But let's continue to pray for her and support mothers and fathers who has lost someone. And also appreciate your children and support them. God bless you. This is Bishop Samuel Fredericks, and I'm signing off. Good night. Take care.